Hello guys and welcome back to Camel Kingdom. I hope you're all doing great today. And yeah, here we are with the next episode finally. I have to say sorry first of all that it takes a little bit longer at the moment to release videos, or actually to be releasing some of my series. Also London Let's Play has been delayed a little bit, but yeah, all I can say is I'm still not a professional YouTuber, and I won't be in the near future, so I have to spend a look at my job and stuff like this, and therefore these things of course come first, so it's a little bit of a time issue at the moment, but I try to get as most episodes out as I can. For now I got a new CPU, which makes me life a little bit easier because I can render pretty much like 4 times as fast as before, so it should be, after setting up a little bit of my settings again, should get a little bit quicker right now. And next step would be to get a few kind of noise reduction things for my office room here, so that I can record also in the evening when my girlfriend is asleep, because that's also a big problem. I can't record my voice when she's asleep. I would wake her up, and since I'm a good boyfriend, I won't do this. So anyway, let's get back into today's episode. As we've seen in the last episode of Okay. I have to concentrate a little bit more on what I'm going to say. I won't cut this out because it is me. Anyway guys, we are going on with the restaurant, which I've been starting in the last episode of Camel Kingdom. And yeah, today we want to try to finish it up with a few touches on the outside of the main building. And we are also going into building a little seating area, which will be right on the other hand side of the building. And also we want to go into a little bit of a water refreshing system. I'm not pretty sure if it's in this episode already, but I guess it is, which allows the restaurant to have fresh water all the time, because imagine this one should be a station on one of another planets apart from the Earth, so it should have, or it would need an own refreshing system. So this is kind of the idea to do it. Of course it's just an illusion because it's in my park and in a theme park, and yeah, maybe in comparison to what I've done with my Moon 1 park, where I actually tried to create the illusion that this theme park was really made upon the moon. This park here really should be like a theme park in the real world, where the sci-fi area just goes straight over the roof with a lot of different aspects of, you know, like really sci-fi themes, and not spending such a deeper look into realistic things like heating systems, water systems and stuff like this. This was a huge part of my Moon 1 project, but anyway, in this one it's just about presenting a nice sci-fi area which could be in a big theme park somewhere around the world. So anyway, yeah, maybe I have to refer to what I'm doing at the moment, because this is something special which I actually didn't do that often, but it worked pretty well, to be honest. So what I'm working on right now is the lower part of the balcony, and I wanted to kind of cover it up so that it has a nice look from the downside, but it's really hard to work with the camera upside down, so that you have to spend the whole time a look from the bottom part of the building. So what I did is I basically just put in a few pieces to get the rough shape of the lower part, and then I just turned it around 180 degrees so that I can build from the normal camera perspective and try to create a good looking item. And later on you will see I will flip this around again and then reassemble it on the right position again. So it worked pretty well, but I have to say that this still is an issue in the current build of Planet Coaster, that for some reason, if you are having selected multiple items and then try to move them around, I still haven't figured out how the axes are made of, because sometimes the axes do refer to one major item within the building, but also if you're going to have, like, for example, 4 items which all have the same direction in terms of their axis and their origin, you still get a very strange looking axes out of it, and you can't move them along the axis you would like to. So I haven't, as I said, figured out what it is. I got a good trick by Silverette. That means if you're going to build, make sure that you're building exactly parallel to the world axis. So that would be a trick to always stick to the world axis. But it's also a little bit kind of, yeah, not the way it's intended to. But anyway, here you have seen how it fits in then, and the rest of it now is just covering up those little gaps in between, so that it looks really good. And yeah, therefore the simple art shapes are brilliant to do this. For me at least, I'm a little bit perfectionist regarding those. I have to fit them in so that's really there's no ugly border or so, but in this term, I think in this time it didn't work out completely well, because I had to figure out some compromises down there, but I think in the final result you can't see what has been happening there. Yeah, now another important part, we've been now getting into the lower part, which is finally done now, but I wanted to have those shops a little bit better covered up on the top of the restaurant. The problem is I wanted to get in even more, like for example, as you've seen, a toilet and also a first aid, but I couldn't get them in, and for some reason they wouldn't connect to the pathway. I have no idea why, to be honest, but I didn't want to do some experiments here because it already looks kind of good, and I was kind of happy with the result as it looks right now. And yeah, so I thought I would go only with those two shops, like one pizza pen, if I see it correctly, and one slush burger. And now we have a little gap towards the seating area, which is nearly finished already. I'm sorry for this, but somehow I've lost the material because I was live streaming this and my recording software didn't work, so we have a little gap in here. But you can see now I made a little seating area down in front of the restaurant itself, and I tried to make some little holographic kind of earth pieces on the table, and I think they worked out quite okay. I just took the smallest simple art ball and put in some of these Christmas little balls you put on your Christmas tree, and made them in green and stick them in a little bit tilt, so that this gets like a little bit of a planet feeling. And I thought this worked out pretty nice, so I tried to do it also with a moon and the Mars one to make like kind of these little statues which you can put all around this lake. And yeah, I think it worked out quite okay. I can go with this. And yeah, as you can see here, I'm going to do it like in red for the Mars now, or maybe another planet, I don't know. It's basically just for a red planet, which would be the Mars because it's called the red planet. But anyway, you got the idea. I made those three just to, yeah, go into. And so here you can see this is kind of how the restaurant looks at the moment. And I was just going to like finishing it up with a little bit of foliage, shrubbery, stones and stuff like this. Maybe foliage is not the best word here, because it's mainly about stone and rock work. You won't see as many foliage stuff on the moon as you would see in a normal park, right? So anyway, I'm talking bullshit, sorry. Yeah, this is kind of the last thing, which is part of the restaurant. As I said, this is the water refreshing system or refurbishing system, which I tried to do with kind of real water, but it didn't work when I tried it first, because you can't make small kind of water places. I don't know why, but it has to be always like a little bit of lake until you can fill in water. So I tried to do it on my own with these like kind of fountains over here. And later on I'm going to cover up the borders of them so that you can't see that it is actually a fountain, which is a little bit strange for a refreshing system, but I think it worked out okay. And yeah, I think I'm in love with this piece right now. I have no idea what it is intended to be, but it's such a nice wall. It's got a nice texture to it, and it's a little bit thicker than the normal wall, so you can really pretty much sink in everything you want, which is nice, because detail work always works along with sinking in objects into other objects, and the thicker they are, the better you can work with them, because you can't see it from the backside that there is something sunken into, and this is why I'm really happy with this piece. But anyway, for the sci-fi area, it tends to be a little bit difficult for me to find the real, to be really satisfied with what I've done, because those pieces are, looking at those pieces as they are already in the game, they are pretty amazing. But for all buildings I'm doing, I'm kind of going for my own style, and I try to fill in my own style. And the problem about especially the sci-fi pieces is they are already so great that once you start putting them together, it always looks great in the end, no question at all, but it kind of all looks the same, because those pieces have such a great and such a strong art to themselves, and such a great, like, kind of, it's nearly like an identity they already have, because it's so nice. It's maybe also the reason why you can do Star Wars stuff so amazingly, because it's like really already in. The textures, the way they look, the way they blend, the way the texture is kind of shaded, and how the lighting works, it's everything already in. And so for me it was kind of difficult to bring in my own style with this sci-fi objects, you know, but it's maybe just a problem I have and nobody else will have. So yeah, this is kind of just a little bit about my own problem in inverted commas, because it's not a real problem. So yeah, last part about the video, and I kind of talked a lot already today. We are about 10 minutes already. Yeah, the last part is just covering up those simple little shops over here, and try to get in some support so that it doesn't seem to float in the air. So I made those little supports in, and found these pieces very useful to get in some nice overlapping kind of pieces, so that it gets all a little bit of deepness and it's not too flat all the way down. And also with this piece is getting a little bit of tilt look to it, and put in some pieces on the corners right like this, so that the corners are not too sharp. So basic things I'm always looking for, so that you get a little bit of character to your buildings. Like always, if I'm going to do buildings, I try to give them a little bit of character by just putting in a little bit of deepness. Like, you know, flat walls always seem to be a little bit boring, so by adding a few pieces that stand out or stick in, it always gets a little bit of character to it. Yeah, so that was it for this episode. I will put in a few screenshots moving along the restaurant and showing you a little bit of the inside. But that's it for this episode, guys. I hope you'll like Camel Kingdom still. And Kingdom, what the hell is going on? I can't pronounce Camel Kingdom right. So anyway, that's it for today's episode. Hope you tune in next time again, and I think the next videos will be more likely about Garuda, the winter special, or Let's Play London. So that's maybe also a reason why it also took a little bit until the next episode of one of my projects comes, because I've got a lot of projects at the moment, and I will be starting with City Skylines as well. So yeah, a lot of stuff to come. Hope you still enjoy, guys, and have a great day. Bye bye.